adventurous yet with picks we've seen. It more so has just been returning to what works or making sure it can still work, which is a pretty common theory with teams. I mean, Ultra Prime, what they're running is definitely looks like a comp ripped straight out of Split 2 last year. BDD last night, doing his best on the rise. As is a pick. You highlighted the actualizer, but also just the fact that you can get pusher impact. Is that Chunky or Drake almost came into play there. At least Ultra Prime was able to get a wave in bot that they're gonna stop LG from getting to. But we have a Realm Warp.
Yeah, in comes Tangyuan.
No flashes.
Xiaoxia looking like he's going to be the target. YCX throws up the Unbreakable, steps forward, lands the passive, and Hong is in there with the damage. First blood goes the way of Hong, and LGD are on the board first.
Top wave, and knowing that Grizzly has the lead that he has in the jungle, they're just going to use this to take the grubs.
And as goofy as it looked, Hong still doesn't have Supreme Display of Talent, and Grizzly does have a level advantage, so Grizzly definitely the stronger jungler up on this side of the map.
Something that I'd expect. Seeing Varus plus Rel into Yunara plus Braum. But, man, LG is forcing this hard. This could be risky. Saber, that's some early ult.
Ultra Prime feeling the pressure to try to make something happen in the early game. They do step up through the bottom side, staying together as 4. They get a big chunk onto YCX, and that is enough to push back LGD. Ooh. Saber looking for a charm, doesn't quite find it. He's already used 2 charges of Spirit Rush. Hong goes in, gets the stun onto only Grizzly, but showing off from the rest of the team is Xiaoxia. He'll be the first one to fall down. Dragon comes through, does get smited by Hong, and it's a double kill for Xiaoya already. Looking for some more. Tangyuan going to Realm Warp him in. Xiaoya's got to create the space. Will be able to execute Henna, and that is a 3-for-1 team fight in favor of LGD. Make it 3-for-0, actually. They didn't even manage to finish off YCX.
Success when Grizzly got up in the face of Hong a little bit early on, had a level advantage. That's gone now after the fight. He's going to try and find YCX here.
Well, we've seen this song and dance before. YCX chunked out to about half, but he's just taking too much sustained damage. Will get knocked up by the public execution, and Grizzly will get the first of the game for Ultra Prime.
Picks up a kill, but Xiaoya, I really perplexed by Xiaoya all-inning Henna here. He's going to go down. He's going to try and execute, but I think that, yeah, they're going to find a piece there for Henna. As speaking of finding a piece, Hong, that's a freebie under the turret, thanks to the empowered Rune Prison from Tangyuan.
Now set up to be able to get on towards this Rift Herald, and frankly, 3 out of 4 of the first 4 objectives for LGD, given the comp difference, feels very good for them if they're able to secure this.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a weird series of events. I feel like Xiaoya, again, really should have understood that if he just walks out, like, the entirety of Ultra Prime was in the top side. Speaking of the entirety of Ultra Prime back at the top side, we're going to flip the objective. A TP's coming in behind. This cannot be matched.
Yeah, Sasa up a little bit far from the rest of the team, going to try to take this all out onto Grizzly to be able to get himself out into an escape-worthy position, but is going to be able to dash back, and he finds himself in between mid-lane turrets. He is home free.
Down 3k gold, down 2 dragons. Yes, they have 3 grubs. Yes, you know, they tried to contest the Rift Herald, even though it ended up in a loss and no fight. I don't really see where the fight was for Ultra Prime in this game, because I don't really know what the game plan was.
He is going to be the strongest member on the map by a solid margin, especially if he actually gets the Supreme Display of Talent onto some members this time. Tangyuan TPs into the bottom side to be able to contest on this Dragon. The Dragon will be smited on through. Here comes Supreme Display of Talent. Knocks up 2. Already gets the kill onto Grizzly. Xiaoxia going to join his jungler in the dirt. And LGD get a 3rd Dragon in a row and 2 kills for nothing. Rookie pilot this yesterday, but little bit of a difference in between these 2 RE performances for certain. Is Hong going to get engaged on this big Magnet Storm coming on through from Xiaoxia, and Hong might be paying for it. Can't get over the wall. Shutdown gold over to Grizzly. YCX next up on the menu. Saber's got 1 more Spirit Rush to try to chase this Braum down. Staying on top of him, blast coned in the wrong direction, and YCX actually finds his way out. He's going to need to show up pretty big in some of these fights, especially if Saber's not going to be landing these charms.
Really like how LGD have moved across the map in response to these 2 plays. Like, yes, they just got picked off on a jungle invade, but as Tangyuan's going to partake in some of the new season festivities, which is, of course, getting plates on inners.
He's getting a lot of them here, but it does mean he's a little too far to be able to risk threaten to join with Realm Warp. He does have the TP, but that too is also going to take a little bit of time. YCX going to get a bit chunked. It has given time for Ultra Prime to be able to start on up this Dragon. Supreme Display of Talent comes out, connects onto 2, going to get followed on up with by the Glacial Fissure. Tangyuan comes in over the wall. Dragon already been smited down. Public Execution connects onto Tangyuan as well, but Sasa's in there. Triple stun found by the Cassante and over the wall onto Xiaoxia. Going to flash onto Henna, in fact, and find that kill. Now Xiaoya's over the wall, sees some threats dropping, but Grizzly is still there waiting for him. Tangyuan going to back up his marksman too little too late, but Grizzly will drop all the same. Liang Chen, the last one standing for Ultra Prime, and LGD will claim an ace at 23 minutes.
Honorable mention to Grizzly. Him killing off Xiaoya actually is going to save the Baron, and he did take away the soul, but that fight, the star of it, was Sasa on our screen on this Cassante. He's kind of hard to jump on. His poke is legit. I mean, it's going to do damage. I don't think these guys can win a single team fight. LGD has just scaled way too much in this game.
Ooh, Grizzly found by Tangyuan. Root going to come on through over the wall, and Hongul one-shot him. And that is the alarm for the Baron. Realm Warp right over in an instant. No more smite. This one's a freebie, and LGD are about to catapult themselves to over 10,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, and Grizzly just not connected with the rest of his team. And the progress they made, grouped up as 5 and dropping waves there, was just to get mid shoved in. Nothing else. Grizzly goes down. Baron goes down as another charm connects onto the support from Saber. Right. Only able to find YCX. And, yeah, the damage for LGD, it's looking a lot better. I know it's a 5v4, but I think their champion's just doing more. I think there's no fight for Soul here, Gordo. No. This is the point where I would vote to FF in solo queue. You know, Baron gone, not going to contest Soul.
You
can FF. You can have 15-minute games or 10-minute games if something gets weird, but then you might get a best of 7. Might be the only way.
I mean, it'd be an interesting trade-off, I suppose. I would still. I think it's just poor form for stage games in general. I think.
Oh,
that's
you were not a StarCraft 2 fan, I see.
I wasn't. That's that's accurate. I've never.
Pretty standard.
The RTSs haven't grabbed me.
Pretty standard to FF in some of those games. Mikhail's picked up by YCX does nullify that charm as that one went wide.
Well, this might be a reason to not FF, is look at the laydown of the equalizer, but Xiaoya bumping out the damage is able to get one, but Xiaoya did successfully push back Xiaoxia. Some similar thoughts, feels good about how that last play went, and that's just not likely, as they are about to be able to take down this mid lane inhibitor turret. Tangyuan trading with Saber. Saber already using the first dash from the Spirit Rush, going to have to wait on that cooldown now. Is in fact going to retreat back towards the fountain. Mid lane inhibitor turret going to fall. Inhibitor going to be up next on the menu.
Maybe some mid-game snacks as well up next on the menu, as this could be it here.
Yeah, LGD. Public Execution dangled out by Grizzly. Did not actually end up finding its mark, and it's another engage tool down, so now no ultimate for Saber, no ultimate for Grizzly, as they're just pushed back further and further, and LGD are going to look to take this whole base if it's going to get given to him. Charm does connect on a YCX. A fair bit of damage comes through his way, but Sasa is now back up at the front line, and he's shrugging this off like it's nothing. YCX's health bar is low, but that's the best thing you're looking at if you're Ultra Prime, and bye-bye top lane inhibitor. Realm Warp out to safety, successful for Tangyuan.
Really nice. They definitely deserve credit. It's been part of why it doesn't look like a very competitive game on the Ultra Prime side. That, and I'd say Saber not really performing along with the rest of the team. This could be it. Baron's up. They've been drawn out of the base defense, and Baron's down.
And down goes the Baron, and here comes an engage. It's Sasa up in the front line, still at about half HP. Finally, busts out the all-out to be able to retreat. Baron already secured. LGD already got what they come for, but Hong and YCX are over on the flank, potentially looking for a fight, but YCX finds himself a bit too far up, going to have to flash out defensively. Hong flashes in. Supreme display of talent onto 2. Xiaoxia going to fall, as does Grizzly, and LGD have the numbers advantage, have the Baron marching in towards a base that's already missing 2 inhibitors. They're finally going to close this one out, and Xiaoya going to be the one to clean up the last few kills while they do it.
Missed a few Supreme displays of talent throughout that one, but the last one, that was pretty neat with the flash into the R, into the dead turret well. That will be it. LG takes game 1.
Well done, LGD. Pretty clean game from start to finish. Playing the floor, scaling team composition, but taking the reins nice and early and being able to get themselves the vast majority of the objectives that spawned up in this game. I think the only one they missed out on was that first spawn of grubs.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.